a driver roundtable.
No.
Mm-mm. Oh, no. Yeah. Hey, everybody. What's up? I think we're live. I know there's always a little delay there, but so tonight was me and Gary were just going to sit down and chat about some things, but so I invited some other people on. I invited Tom Kelly, who I do the radio show with on Friday nights, who I also do with Jason Thierry, who's also here from Gig Economy Podcast. Everybody knows Flex. He's here with us, and Gary's down here. And hopefully we have Hannibal joining us in a little bit. But I got a few things that we'll kind of talk about. Some of them have been going around a little bit, and then some of them have just been questions I've been asked by people lately. And I thought maybe better to take this on as a group. But so first I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Canada convoy. I don't care where anybody stands with it. I know that, Tom, you're way up to date on this.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff went down today.
Yeah.
Some arrests.
Going down right now.
Yeah, going down right now. And and getting them out of there and like pulling their licenses, and some are getting pulled over, leaving town, and they don't have insurance because the company's pulled the insurance. I'm not going to get political here. I just want to make sure everybody understands what this is, because it's not a protest against the vaccine. It's a protest against a mandate. And half of the truckers that are there are vaxxed. Not that that matters, but I just want to make that very clear to everybody, because some serious crap is going down. And I want to give shout outs to, I'm going to actually be writing an article for uberlyftdrivers.com, but also for a Windsor publication, Windsor, Ontario, for the Ambassador Bridge thing. And so I want to give a shout out to Ottawaks, Viva Frey, Travel Fund 69, Zot, and Aaron Dueck, who I've been chatting with about what this will be. And I'll make sure to drop that to everybody. But there's some serious craziness going down up there. And again, it's not political and it's not vax. I just want everybody to be aware. Right now, it's all going down. So try and pay attention and watch YouTube, not TV. That said, some of the topics tonight are, some big ones, actually, like Uber's new upfront pricing.
Oh, yes.
I don't even know. Where do we begin with that one? Gary, I thought I'd be in the target city right out of the gate. But Tampa's closest to you. I don't know if Houston might have been one. Is Houston?
Really?
You know that Detroit wasn't listed, but it's live in Detroit right now.
It is?
Well,
Yeah.
the ones listed on rideshare or on the rideshare guys website, those are just the major markets. That's not all the markets it's live in.
Right. Well, Chris listed I think he listed 7 real rideshare stories, and he listed 7, but there was 22.
Right.
Yeah, there's 22 cities. It's not
okay.
whole states, but maybe Detroit was one. I thought Denver's usually one, so I thought we were going to see it too. But the one takeaway that I had from the things that I've read, seen, whatever, is that you're going to like shorter trips now better, because longer trips, you're going to get some more time pay, but they're actually going to take away some mile pay.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you guys, this is ridiculous. Gary and I talked about this, back when, and we were saying how they can't go much lower. And it's like, and then, Gary was like, I don't know. They might. It's like they're getting under the standard deduction now in many markets.
In some markets, they're actually below it already.
Yeah. I mean, so what's going to come with this upfront pricing, as far as you can tell, Gary? I guess let's start with you.
I think it's going to do two things. First, I'm always for upfront pricing, always for it.
Me too. We all want to see all of it.
Anytime I know exactly what I'm going to make right off the bat, that's a win for me, because then I can determine, well, do I really want to, it might be an hour drive, but if it's paying, $60, of course I'm going to go do it. I think it's going to make drivers more aware of how to spend their time better. Instead of just drivers accepting every single trip over and over, because if you see something that pops up and it says $4 and you've been getting $10 trips all day long, they're going to decline the $4 trip.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the other thing too. I'm still yet to. I know Chris has put out a couple things, and Chris and I are doing something on Monday, but Chris put out a couple things, and I still am yet to like see like the full. Are you getting everything? Are you getting the map, the distance, the amount? I mean, are you seeing? Is it true upfront or is it just upfront pricing?
It's you get the pricing at the top, kind of like an Uber Eats request.
Okay.
Under that, you'll get the. I should have had my data pulled up for it, but under that, you'll get the miles and the pickup location. Underneath that is the drop off and the distance to drop off. I guess the trip distance. I don't have all the data in front of me, but you get a lot more information on the upfront one than you do on the current.
Well, you don't barely get anything on the current.
Well, on the current one, you have to be a diamond. I believe it's diamond or gold to get all the information, like how far it's going and everything like that. So whenever you're a driver like me, I think I'm blue. Is that what it is?
Me too.
You know, and so whenever you're like me, you don't get none of that information. But I mean, I'm also in a very good market, so I already get $1 plus a mile just for Uber.
Right.
Uber X. That's just Uber X. I get $1 plus a mile for that. So to me, I can pretty much accept every trip and make money. So on markets like mine, to where I'm already making a decent, and I say decent, it's not great, but it's decent compared to
it's what it is at its best right now.
Right. Well, compared to what I think some markets are like 53 cents a mile. I don't know who would drive for that, but you know,
if it goes down, that's where mine will be, and I'm in a major market.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're at 58 cents. If they go, I mean, I don't know what they'd go down, but if that went down for Uber X to 53, 54, I don't need an extra penny or two per minute, or
right.
I need my mile fee. In fact, that's what I need to go up, not down.
And so that's why I think that on like markets like mine, to where you're already getting a decent ride, pay it's probably going to affect those more, because if you're showing me this ride is going to take 20 minutes for $10, and normally I can do, say it's 15-mile ride, I can do a 15-mile ride for $15 plus. You know, why would I take the $10 plus one?
Yeah.
You know,
the real question is, why are they doing this? Why all of a sudden
that was something I was curious about too, because I feel like Uber's been just throwing out a lot of kind of big change. They're always changing, but I feel like there's been a couple of big changes lately. Like what, you know, they were doing and just all of the stuff that I'm always talking about that I won't get into tonight, like IC versus employee stuff. I mean, they're in all these battles and they're throwing out some really wild card plays. I don't know.
See, what I think it is, I think they're trying to separate what the passenger pays versus what the driver takes. Because if they give you upfront pricing, they no longer have to show you what the passenger paid.
Right.
Because they're guaranteeing you an amount.
Yeah, but they're showing that too. So you can see it all. You can see their cut, what the passenger paid, and your cut.
See, I heard that I haven't taken one. I got to go over to Tampa so it kicks in. But I heard that whenever you go to the actual history, where it used to say, you know, like $1 a mile times 10 miles, that's gone.
Correct.
And so you're not actually getting the breakdown of it. You're getting what they pay, but you're not getting the actual breakdown of what they paid.
Right. Yeah. Well, you won't be able to dig that out too, like you always have.
Yeah, I think you can.
Well, we're talking about the new system now, where they're going to, Tom, basically there's not going to be that, what is this? I'm not getting everything I need. You're going to get everything in your request. And I think Houston's a market that gets it. So you're going to see, this is how much, this is where it goes. This is the total round distance.
Yeah. And they're going to show you what the rider paid. And they're even going to say, it's going to be the Uber service fee. And it's going to show you how much Uber collected between what the driver got paid and what the rider paid.
Correct. I mean, I would think you could get to that information. That's your information. When I mean, we're in tax season right now, Gary, you know this. I mean, like Uber claims that all those clients were our clients. So wouldn't we be able to retrieve all of the information relative to the payment from those clients?
Well, come on, that's a rhetorical question. You know, we're not going to be able to get that information.
Well, we can get it right. You can get it right now.
You get it right now. Like,
Yeah,
you can even do the yearly report, dude, an annual summary, and see it all. I mean, every piece of it, what went where, you know, it's very, for me, it's very, you know, it was always very dynamic, you know, you couldn't look at all of them, go, oh, they take 22%. It's not at all like that. It's like,
I actually don't really look at that stuff that much. I probably should, but if I did, I'd probably be too depressed. So
yeah, I'm like you, Jason. I don't look at it either, like per trip. Like some drivers, as soon as they get done, they click.
Yeah, but it's nice that it's there.
Yeah.
There was a time back when that, I mean, Gary, I mean, for those of you that don't know, and I'm always saying this too, like if you are getting back to rideshare, don't forget Gary makes all the apps, DUH, Flex Alert, Maximo, and Maximo is the one that would do this. So I don't know what Maximo, actually, I don't know if you're even fully aware of what you're going to try in these new markets with how will Maximo go.
Well, I'll do it just like I do Uber Eats. I'll just add more filters so you can make better judgment of what you actually want to do. I mean, because Maximo already filters for trip distance. It already filters time, you know, time to pick up, passenger ratings, things like that. So now just for UberX, I'll just have to add in just the total pay filter.
Well, what are you going to do with the trip radar? We talked about, you were on my show last night, Gary. How's that going to play into effect?
That's why I said I'm gonna have to go over to Tampa and see how it actually works.
But see, that's another thing too. Is it going to be around in 3 months? Because I feel like that's the kind of stuff I was talking about with Uber. I feel like they're throwing out a lot of stuff like this, and it's like, oh, yeah, that'll be gone.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, okay, like I don't know if you guys know, but Oklahoma City, whenever I lived there, on the new Uber app that we have now with the start button and everything, that went to Oklahoma City almost 90 days before they released it to any other test market. And so this isn't the first rollout that they're doing with this. It's not like, oh, we're going to test 22 markets. We're trying to scale it out to 22 markets to see which markets we want to keep it at.
Right.
You know, but again, I don't understand the trip radar thing. Like, why aren't you just sending those out? If I'm sitting there anyways, why aren't you sending those out?
Yeah, it's going to be obviously round robin. You know what I mean? They're just going to pop up, and they're only going to pop up when you slow down. So I don't understand it either. I so want to just try it out.
Well, I think Gary's already on top of. He's going to be heading to Tampa and doing this. So
yeah, I was going to do
I'm
that.
sure we'll know from him soon.
This weekend, but I took my car in to get not detail. I got tint, windows, and a system. Worst day ever. It's still in the shop.
Oh no! What happened?
The system that I ordered, they apparently got the wrong system for it, and so then they had to return that and get the new one, which won't be here till tomorrow. And then my back window, they're having a problem tinting it because the very back window, you can't like get in the very, very crevice of it. And so they've had to rip out the tint 3 times trying to get it because it keeps buckling.
Ooh.
Yeah. Not my problem.
What year is the truck?
No, it's a car, 2022 Kia K5.
Nice.
So I want to acknowledge a few people in here. Sometimes I don't know, Jason, was that you that just typed in from the gig economy? Because there's the 2 different gig economies.
What do you mean 2?
You have the audio and your channel.
Oh yeah,
so I never can tell between the 2. But
well, anyway. The one says audio on the logo.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't.
I don't ever even log into that channel. I don't even. It's just the audio. So no, that was just me.
But what's up, Thomas? What's up, Drone? What's up, Flex? You're in here. What's up, Tony? Bruce, I saw this. Bruce, what is it here? You get $1. Is that UberX? You get $1.05 a mile with UberX. Hey, poor dirt farmer.
Yeah, Bruce is actually one of my Maximo users.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And Bruce is
Yeah.
somebody that I was
And
talking
actually,
with about.
he's actually helped me a lot with Maximo. Anytime or with Lyft, anytime I have something to test, I send it to him first.
I'm in contact with
You
Bruce.
should sometime check out Poor Dirt's Farmer channel.
Yeah, I did because he's Michigan peep, right? Maybe, I don't know.
He's in Florida,
But
Michigander's in Michigan.
yeah. Hey Marissa, what's up? Mort, what's up? Michigander, what's up? Yeah, Michigander, my town. I'm finishing. Our family owns land in Calva, so if you know where that is. B Mike, what's up? And who else we got in here? Crispy, Bud Soda. I really missed a lot. Micah, Randy, and Octavio. What's up, Octavio? Put in the show notes, Octavio, if you have any updates on the truckers. But yeah, so okay. Let's jump to something that I know all of us know has been kind of going around, and I don't want to get into it in the way that everybody is, but I already see Flex smiling. This control of the apps thing. I just kind of want to put it to sleep because we have a lot of people here that I think each one of us should give input on this. And I think that the way to do this is because I was listening to, I mean, you know, it all started with, and I'm not playing any sides here. I'm just kind of stating some facts to those who don't know. Bottom line is there was a video put out by a YouTuber that most of us know that directly, it was against Instacart, who has always been very pro Instacart. She is now working or in the GWC, the Gig Worker Collective, and I've interviewed those guys a few times. We have different opinions, but you know, we stay nice with each other. But this person had put out a video that directly hit one of our other creators in the community for, well, anyway, the person hit back, and then there was a discussion with Flex and Roy. I mean, it just seems to be going around a lot. And I you know, usually I try and stay out of this kind of stuff, but I think we have the brain power here tonight to dissect this a little bit. So it all started with this control, what the control of the apps has over you. And it's spread out into so many different things so here's what I was thinking is that, you know, could we first define like what we're talking about, and then all give our opinion on it, like this control of the apps, because I heard you kind of get
the statement was you have zero control over your app,
right? But it's branched out into these different fights that aren't even the same one. Exactly. It's like it's so crazy, man. And like there's people making videos about other people, and then people going for retribution, going back at these. And these aren't like people with 5 subscribers. These are people with thousands of subscribers, like hitting each other back and forth about this stuff right now. So if the question is, you know, you have no control over the apps. Right, you don't. The programmers and the CEO and the people who own stock in the companies are the ones who have control over those apps. Bottom line. Exactly. Can we all agree on that, all 5 of us? Yes. That's who has control of the apps?
Yes.
Okay, so that's who has control of the apps. But where a lot of the discussions and arguments are coming in here now is like, you know, why are... I have control over my use of that app. Like if I pull up an app and it does great for me for a year, then I you know, awesome. I'm loving it. If it starts to do bad, I try different times. Maybe I give up on it altogether. Maybe I move to a new app. I don't know. But I make my decisions. Once it's not making me money, I'm done. So I'm in complete control of the apps. In my realm, in my space.
Same here.
In my world. But
more Uber Eats for me.
Well, I guess you know, I mean, it sounds like we're all kind of nodding. I mean, Tom, how do you feel about this? Do you feel like the apps have control over us? And some of the issues that I've heard brought up were, you know, that the You know, like with, I think DoorDash was one example I heard. Like, what if it's grayed out? You know, you can't work at that time. I got to compare it to the service industry. I mean, I was a bartender for many, many years. Yeah. And anyway, you know, I mean, like there were times that I'd go in there, work for a 1 p.m. baseball game on a Thursday because it was right across the street from home plate. So I'd work that and I'd get a quick rush for like an hour, but then I'd have to stay there till like 4, like the 7th inning, when other bartenders came for that second shift. I didn't make crap. That's just something I had to do to get my Friday and Saturday night shifts, which did make me bank in a shorter amount of time. So I'm not in control of that at all. Like I had to stay. I couldn't go, it's slow, and turn my app off and leave the bar unattended. I had to stay.
Right.
Well, I don't get the control issue. In fact, I think you are as much in control as you can be of any job on these apps.
Absolutely. You can turn them off and walk away anytime you want to.
Yeah, but they still kind of control you. I mean, they do things to manipulate you to do certain things.
They attempt.
Of course, look, Driven Dead said, but Roy's point is that you don't control if you get deactivated. Of course you control. You write the fucking email, you respond to the email, and, you know, why or what happened, you know what I mean? You might get reinstated back. You know,
right. Or you contact Legal Rideshare, they can check for you. But hey, you know what? You could just be deactivated too, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Exactly.
That just, I mean, that happens to innocent people
It's
all the
just
time.
just like anybody could be fired from their regular fucking job.
Yeah.
Hey, SJ, just for a moment here, real quick, pull this up for you. It is getting bad up there in Ottawa. They have now arrested Tamara Litch, which we figured was going to happen tonight. She's one of the people who put all this together. And Chris Barber, they're on the good side. These are the ones who never wanted violence. They never wanted to create an issue for anybody. There's some jerks up there, but Tamara and Chris got arrested around 4:30. So Tamara just got arrested in the last little bit.
Yeah, Chris is Christian, the trucker.
Chris Barber.
He's a trucker.
Yes, he's one of the
he left out there, and they pulled his insurance. This is what happened to a lot of them. The companies, the ones that aren't completely independently owned, the companies just pulled their insurance because otherwise they were going to lose it as the company for all the other workers. So they pulled their insurance. So everybody was saying as soon as they left Ottawa, they were going to get arrested.
But no, they're arresting him downtown right now.
Well, I mean, they were were trying to pull out and went on.
Alive a little while ago.
You know, I can't think of his last name, but Eric too, one of the leaders there. He had to pull out earlier, so
So what's going to happen? What's going to happen now?
It'll fall apart.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's actually still a lot, dude. It's like negative degrees. It's supposed to snow 11 inches tonight.
Are they gonna vote this guy out, or like
eventually? Yeah. This will be the end of Trudeau.
Yeah, this is bad. This is.
I mean, it should be the end of him now. I mean, it's like kind of like somebody going rogue type of fucking deal.
Yeah. This is crazy stuff.
It's like somebody like going like trying to activate a nuclear weapon or something, or just like.
Well, he used the nuclear option. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Pretty much, it's like
he threatened the livelihoods of the family members who stayed behind to let the other truckers go and make the protest.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, "Hey, these 58 people that you work with and have for years, they're not going to get a paycheck unless you get out of there right now." But it wasn't so much the business's fault either. The insurance companies were threatening to pull all their. It's ridiculous. Canada's at 90%, you guys. That's way beyond the threshold of herd immunity. This is I don't know. I don't want to get all heated about this.
I mean, they're all trying to hold their asses. All these politicians. I mean, it all comes down to that. And I'm sure there's like somebody behind him as well. That like probably stepping on his ass and telling him like what to say, what to do, as well. Most likely.
Well, the one that got the wildest today was the Ontario police put out a tweet with a picture of one of their dogs, one of the people's dogs, and said, "If we arrest you, and your animal's left behind, we're going to take your animal to the pound, and you've got 8 days to get your animal out of the pound. Otherwise, your animal will be quote unquote relinquished,
euthanized. That's fucked up.
They use the word relinquished. So in other words, if you don't leave, we're going to kill your dog. I mean, come on.
The fuck kind of shit is that?
Yeah, they were doing, even when I was watching last
Saying they should fucking vote every one of these fucking politicians out of
dude, I mean, all the live streamers were going tonight, but it's dumping snow. I mean, and there's still a ton of people out. I mean, a ton, and they just brought in all the police tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It was starting to look ugly as it got
all
dark.
those people should come out with shovels. You know how quick
it's not
so
going like real pretty. There was one dude like in a guy's face, and as soon as like the policeman grabbed him, he like took a swing. There was like 19 cops around him.
Jesus.
I mean, it's not pretty, man. And these guys, the police,
right
just to put it into perspective though, you guys, before we jump off this, because I really have been in this too much lately. My head's all over it. But the police, even, I got to say this, have been awesome to the truckers. They love the community. I will point out, they say this is the first time that Ottawa has not had a homeless problem with starving and all this other stuff right now. They're just living in this, eating all the free food that's being put out. The streets are paved. There's been no physical.
Besides, the truckers probably paid for their
very peaceful
their hotel rooms and stuff.
No, they're pretty much, there's only like one or two hotels right there. They're kind of like living out of their trucks. They don't want to leave their trucks either.
No, I'm talking about homeless. I'm talking about
homeless.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just a big mess up there. But even the police, I will say this, have been awesome through this whole thing. The media plays it a lot different, but they've been awesome to everybody. It's just now they brought in whatever the next level of police in Canada is. I'm sorry for not knowing the actual term, but that's what happened. And they were putting extra gating up, and we just kind of knew that today something was going to happen. But so what can I got to jump back? So
what's the gate for? So people don't run away?
They put a second gate up around Parliament because they already had one where they were hanging all the peace flags and stuff, which wasn't a problem at all. But they put one around Parliament literally so that the media could grab pictures of they needed to put a fence around Parliament.
Yeah.
So
that's all it was. It was a prop shot. They had the police on the Parliament Hill between fence 1 and 2, and they put the secondary fencing up. It's everything's coming out wrong right now. So
it's like zombie apocalypse.
It's just not. I mean, that's why all these feet on the ground have been great. But let me just jump back. I got to get out of this headset. It's because I knew it was all blowing up tonight.
Yeah, I didn't mean to pull us off topic.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I hear what you're saying about the apps. Okay, and I know we're all app driven, no pun intended, by doing our work. But at the same time, as I think it was Terry, whoever said it a few minutes ago, that we're in control at the end of the day. I mean, if I've learned nothing from you guys in the last 6 months as we've been talking and so forth, I used to let it bug me when I got knocked down from gold to blue or whatever. I don't care. It doesn't change my pay. I had less information. I'm Bill, who's Mr. Diamond, 10,000 rides and all that kind of stuff, 10,000 5-star rides, all that kind of, he gets all this information. We're always like, what are you talking about, Bill? Because he's like, oh yeah, they tell me how many times I'm going to have to turn left when I go pick the person up. What?
You guys got to know. I mean, actually, you've all been on everybody, Gary.
Yeah.
Jason's on every week, but Gary and Flex, you've both been on the podcast. So the other guy, Bill, Chopper Bill, honestly, the guy up until like 5 months ago didn't even have a bad story to tell about rideshare. I couldn't believe it, man.
Yeah.
Like I did it for so many years. I have like thousands or hundreds. It's like he's like, no, I don't have any. I've had all the best people in the world ever. I'm like,
it's always been sugar and sweet. He had somebody barf in his car, and that's like the only thing bad that's ever happened to him. That was a few months ago.
Right. And it was like a week or two after Jason and I were talking about that on the radio show. We were like, you know, puking in the car. And he's like, I've never had that happen to me. And like the next week he came back.
Never say never.
It's like nobody's ever farted in my car before. Why would
you know what it was? He didn't have that piece of wood to knock on after you.
Yeah, that's what it was. So, but you know, I don't let you can't let the app control you. You know, you got to just it gives you information and you decide what you're going to do with the information.
Exactly. And you can and I mean, in California they say no right now, but you can be multi-apping too. I mean, everywhere probably doesn't want you doing it, but you're able to download 30, 50 apps. So I mean, you hate one, go to the next one. And what, you know, we talk about it all the time. What doesn't work for you in one market or for you, or this guy might work for you, or this. So it's not, I mean, I actually see it as they don't have any control. So I need to relate this to
There's two levels of control of it: admin and user.
Programmer, CEO, and company that wants to make profit at every expense, including everybody dying.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like,
well,
admin is the higher
well,
level.
Uber.
Users is us.
There's a company that's like spelled UBE something that, yeah, whatever.
The thing is, though, say they did have 100% control over the app,
right?
They would have nothing to complain about and no one to blame.
Well, when I see
at that point would be
right,
working
and
for them.
so when I hear this control thing, Gary, you know, I mean, everybody should appreciate this. It's what I talk about a lot. Is that if that's what you're talking about franchise model or W-2 employment with these companies. That's control.
That is, yeah. That's what I was saying.
Short of that,
you're working for them.
Short of that, I can turn it on and then 2 minutes later go, no, I don't want to work it. Or I can turn it on and say, yeah, I'm going to do it all day.
Like I said, I think it gives them something to complain about because I mean, if you think about it, how much are you actually in control of anything in your daily life? If you base it off of how they're basing off your control currently, that means that if you take an elevator, guess what? You're not in control of going outside. The elevator's in control of you going outside. You're driving your car. Well, your car's ran by a computer. You can't edit that computer unless you go get another software that allows you the ability to edit that computer. Again, control is a mindset. You know, if you say I'm not in control, you're probably not in control of much in your life.
Actually,
I don't mean to come off like that.
You cannot set this noggin to say that.
Yeah, I don't mean to come off and say it, badly, but that's how you have to look at stuff. Is if you think that you're never in control, that's an issue with yourself, not anybody else. Because I believe everything I do, I'm in control of. Or I at least try to be. I don't let nobody tell me what I should be doing. I don't care if it's a W-2 job. If I don't feel like going to work or I don't want to do something at work, I'm a firm. They can fire me. I don't care. Whether you have control or not, that does not mean that you don't have consequences to your actions.
Sure.
That's the biggest thing. A lot of people, the biggest argument I ever hear is, well, they can pause you. They cannot let you sign into the app. They can deactivate. Yeah, it's called consequences. That's what that is.
I think that's where where some people get a little tripped up, though, is that, they're like, well, I'm not an employee, I shouldn't have consequences. And it's like, man, an independent contractor has consequences. If he screws something up, the person in charge who hired him is going to be like, get out of here.
If you're a plumber,
that's the way the app was written. That's the way the person set up the app. You know what I mean? Like you signed up.
Here's the best way I can explain it. If you're a plumber and you're a true contractor, say you're a true contractor, you're doing plumbing work, and you dig up the wrong line and break somebody else's line, guess what? You're probably going to be fired from that contract. That doesn't mean, oh, I'm not a contractor. That just means you screwed up. You should do better.
Right.
I mean, I have my own business. It's a legit business. I got an EIN, an LLC. I got the insurance, everything like that. Guess what? I still got people to answer to. You know, it's not like I can do what I want. If, you know, my customers, I have to answer to my customers. It's not like I can be like, screw you, I'll do what I want. That's not how life operates.
Still going to answer to someone at the end of the day.
Always. It doesn't matter if you're in total control or not. Like all my apps that I make for rideshare drivers and gig workers, technically I'm in 100% control of them.
The 1%ers are in fucking.
If I start going through my apps and removing features that you want to use, you're not going to use my apps.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You're right.
So, like I said, control is a mindset. If you say I have no control, you probably don't.
Actually, your apps are a good example too, because like in there, you're actually setting your controls.
You're
saying, here's my controls.
Yeah, you actually tell all my apps what you want to do, and then they do it for you.
Yeah, if they don't work, you're going to hear
you want to do what you could have done yourself.
Right, you're saying, hey, I don't want to be paid less than this. I don't want to go farther than I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want that. You know, it's like, and then you're just sitting back saying, okay, now do your job, assistant. You know, it's like, so they're already weeding through it. So I mean, that's even a better example of the proof that you have control. You're actually able to go within those apps, use Gary's apps, and say, you know what? Here's what I'll work. And it'll filter it to you. So I think that's a perfect example of control, right?
Like I said, control is a mindset.
Right. But I mean, exactly but in this case, I think that's
you're never going to convince, it's never going to be, okay, I agree with you. Nobody's ever going to do that. Everybody's going to have some little argument that they want to nitpick about the control.
Right.
You know, because you tell them, yes, I can accept or decline whatever I want. Yeah, but they determine which ones they send you.
Right, okay, but I was that's why I for the first time tonight, I just put into my head that like, you know, I wasn't even putting two and two together to think, that's, you know, your app is a good example of that though, because I can go in there and say, no, this is actually what I want. And then I'm using it against those companies, and I'm only gonna take stuff within those parameters. So I've told the companies what I'll work.
But look, what they sent is not what like DoorDash sends. It's what is being generated around your location. It's what people order. It's what the customer orders.
Right.
That's what's being generated if you're available.
Right.
That's what it is. It's not like somebody sitting there and like, hey, you know what? Let me give this fucking guy this order. No, it's not. None of that. So again, that's what I was saying. There's only two levels of control, which is the admin side and the user side, and that's plain and simple. But just to say you have absolutely no control over your apps is a true statement. Is a false statement. I'm sorry.
No, I think I like the way Gary said it too. You know, is that control is a mindset. I mean, it is. You know, I mean, and I wouldn't say that I wouldn't go to say that maybe that person doesn't have any control, but I kind of agree with that sentiment that if you don't feel like, you know, I don't know, if it's probably right. You know, if you don't feel like you have control over something, you probably don't have control over a lot, or at least feel like you don't.
Yeah, because they were nitpicking like certain points, like, oh, because they limit you on this thing. They tell you can only sign up at this time or this thing. It's like, okay, yeah, they're telling you what to do or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're in control of it.
I mean, I feel I'm in control of my daily, whatever I want to do daily, that's what I'm in control of. And people can argue this with me all they want, you know, but I wake up whenever I want. I go to work whenever I want. I stop working whenever I want. If I don't make money, though, that's my fault. I can't say, oh, DoorDash didn't allow me to make money, because guess what? I truly believe I'm an independent contractor. And so I determine where I'm going to work for that day. It's not like, oh, I'm just a delivery driver. No, I do everything. And if I don't make money that day, I can only blame myself.
Right. Or the day, but you'll readjust before the next day.
Exactly.
Right.
Every day's not the same. Every day's a different day.
Well, that's the trade-off of being your own boss. Is Sundays are short, Sundays are long.
You know, it's funny. As I look at like what the Driven Dad just wrote.
I actually just go ahead, because I was just going to address that.
But think about this whole IC argument. The whole
well, that's why I was.
argument.
This is just
wait,
FYI. This is what I was hoping Hannibal was going to make it for.
Let me finish. The IC argument, the all this, and the whole thing going up in Canada. All of the argument comes back to exactly the same thing. Who gets to control me? What do I get to control? It's the argument is the same across. And who gets to decide whether or not you get to have some influence as to whether or not I get to decide? You know, these people who are like, no, we've got to protect you. We got to, you poor IC people, you're being taken advantage of by the man and all that kind of stuff. No, you know, why do you think I need your protection? I will let you know if I need your protection.
It's kind of like that whole you have to join a union so we can protect you.
Like, it's exactly that.
But yet the union wants to tell you what to do.
Remember, another thing, a lot of people that complain that they can't make money is just because that they're not in a good location, and that's the only reason that they're not making decent money.
No, you can be in a great location and might not make these.
I 100% agree, because I made only $45 today.
Mm-hmm.
But comes to more, I could make like $500. You know, you just never know what kind of day you're gonna get.
You know, one of these guys has one of these videos out there, and he spent a lot of time on this video talking about how Uber is such a ripoff and all that kind of stuff. And he kind of slides through there in the middle of all this that he went downtown to, I forget which city. He was a big city, Dallas, Houston, whatever. He went downtown and he parked in a parking garage, and he sat there for 4 hours and he never got one single ping.
Yeah.
Well, he's parked in a parking garage. Did he have cell service the whole time?
I would hope he at least knew how to check that.
But it doesn't. I mean, what he's saying doesn't even make any sense.
I mean, because if he lost the cell service, he would lose his contact with the app.
And okay, so I go in a parking garage. Some parking garages that work. Sometimes it does. It depends on which parking garage I'm in, right? So I don't know what but these people they want to find fault in places where there is no fault, because that's how they get control. Mm-hmm. They feel like they've got control by saying, you know what I'm saying? I mean, all of this stuff that everybody's arguing about right now, mandates and vaccines and all that, it's all about this sense of control and who gets to have which amount.
That's a different kind of control.
It's all
you know what? Hannibal's not here, so let me kind of run through the details or the bullet points of all this, since Driven Dad put it up. What up, Tony? So Jen put out, or Hannibal had a video on how, and we've all talked about this, how strikes on these platforms don't work. In fact, he put out a couple. Jen made a video on how these strikes absolutely work, because she's now working with the GWC, who I've talked to many times. I just like Vina Dubal, I don't agree with them, but at least we have discussions. We keep the lines open. But Jen made a video and called out Hannibal, put his name into the video, showed his picture, kind of like not like her. And she has 18,000 subscribers, 19,000 subscribers. They're pretty active. Her videos get around 3,000 views per day when she drops one. And she put Hannibal's name in there that, how, he shouldn't say this. And she was talking about like having a big mic, like microphone. And so Hannibal made a video about his big mic, wink, wink, and kind of was like really going back.
Is that what it was? Is that what it was all about?
Well, hold on.
Was that whole mic thing I was hearing for the past couple of days?
Yeah. So he's like, I guess that's a problem to have a big. I mean, it was a couple slaps back and forth from some people that I don't normally see do it, but I hadn't seen the Jen video when I first saw the Hannibal video, so I was like, whoa. And then I saw that Jen video and I was like, you know, these are all kind of out of hand. Like, why? And I didn't even know like those two had a beef or whatever. But here was the only thing I will say about the whole thing, because I thought this is crazy, and weird that this is going on with people who seem like good people, but who I know are. I mean, I know Hannibal, and he's a good person. So, but what I did find weird was that Jen was saying how these do work, the strikes, and you know, that nobody should be talking about that. And there was something about Hannibal. Driven Dad, if you can put it up, Jen. Oh, that's it. That Jen left all of her videos for Instacart on how to do Instacart up, and they're all monetized and they make a lot of money. Okay, Jen, I think that Flex for sure knows this. Gary probably does. Jen on the Go is a pretty big channel. She has a lot of commercials and monetizing going on. I'm just saying, I think she gets a good monetization money. That doesn't matter. That's fine. That's her business. I'm cool with that. That's not the part that's weird. The part that's weird is she's now putting up
anti-Instacart stuff,
anti-Instacart, and anti-working for any of these apps while still leaving all these others up. So what I had said to Hannibal in a text was that maybe, you know, but wouldn't it have been different if she just created a new channel? Because she still could have left the old channel up. Would you have cared then? You know, if she had just created a new channel saying New Gen with the GWC.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen lots of YouTubers do this over the course of 7 years now. They always start out positive tips and tricks, and they get people into their channel, and then about halfway through their channel, they flip script, and now they start putting out negative content as well.
Why would
but this much of one, somebody who Jen on the Go made Instacart forever. I mean, she built her brand on that, and now she's like just destroying them while still leaving all the pro Instacart.
Uberman did the same thing.
Okay, I guess that's weird. That's weird. I mean, I agreed with Hannibal. That was a little weird.
Maybe it reached some kind of a level.
Well, honestly, y'all, if they're getting paid a lot of money, they're not going to take that shit down. I mean,
right? I mean,
I wouldn't either. $5,000 a month from Google AdSense.
Well, no, but let me put it this way: not many YouTubers, and maybe I'm wrong, but not many YouTubers could go start another channel, like kind of how Pedro's done or whatever, you know, and get a bunch of followers to move over, because a lot of the subscribers just, you know, over the years have fallen off or whatever. They're not as active. She is absolutely one of those active enough channels where if she said, "Hey, here's my new channel," she could have left the old one up.
Or she could have just hid the videos.
Right, but she could have left the old one up, still monetized it, moved over to a new one, because it's just weird. I mean, I agree. I was hearing what's up, Monroe? I was hearing what Hannibal was saying though about that one. The rest of it, I'm like, oh, why does this happen? Why does it have to be somebody's name? Why couldn't Jen have just made her point without it being Hannibal? Because Hannibal's not the only person that made a video about
I'm sure
virtual strikes don't work.
Other
I think I've seen about 100 of them. I don't know. these personal attacks when I don't think there's a personal beef is weird.
A good person under the bus.
I don't know. I was hoping Hannibal was going to be over here for this. I know he's had his stream going too, but
is this stream over?
Yeah, I mean it probably is now. I don't know.
No, he's still on it.
Oh, he is.
Oh, it's I mean, I can tell him, hey, bro, we're still waiting for you.
Hey, Flex, are you on? Can you text him? Or
I don't have his number. I mean,
I'll text him.
I don't have. You got his number, right?
I mean, his stream's still up right now. He has Bud Soda and John.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he's still going. Yeah, he's got John on too. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was. I think that was more of a going off. His video. I'll have to go. I'm going to go back and watch it. But that was. I think that was going to be the summary of the attack on Jen. Was what was going on.
I personally don't watch the drama videos.
See, I know, and that's when I was texting with you, Gary. I was saying, like, I hate this. I hate this stuff. I don't partake in it. But I just was kind of curious why all this happened. Is it just, I don't know. It seemed out of character for everybody, and it kind of left me, I don't know.
I know Flex likes to drop.
What was that fucking childish shit about making fun of a microphone? Dude's got a fucking professional microphone.
I don't know. Something about making up for size.
I don't know. I mean, have you seen like 4 of us out of the 5 have a big ass mic?
Yeah.
Like
5 of us out of the 5 probably have a big ass mic.
Oh, a big ass golden mic.
So, okay, this was something that William has been asking me. Willie Boots has been asking me a lot lately, and I see Morton here too. So let's see where this one goes, and maybe Hannibal will join. If he doesn't, we'll just kind of wrap it up near the hour. So, why? And I kind of know this because I've been interviewing companies that have, like the rideshare in Austin that was crushing it for the Austin market. And then when they just even tried to nudge a little, they were just put under. Like, why can nobody fight the giants? Why are we at that point that nobody can fight the giants anymore?
What do you mean they can't fight the giants?
I mean, like, there's not going to be another Uber left.
I don't think it's that nobody can. I just don't think that there's anyone that wants to lose that much money. Because it's not about fighting them like, oh, I need to take over. Because say even if you do take over Uber's still not profitable,
right?
So you're not only do you spend a lot of money to take over them, like as far as be the biggest company, well, you're still going to be losing money at the top.
And I need a new company, better plan. So
well, but what about like the ones that are, that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like he was asking me like, well, like why couldn't somebody start their own? I'm like, that's like a dumpling model. Go start dumpling, and you literally, it doesn't even have to be groceries. You can be doing dumpling and not even ever do groceries, because the way it works, they'll just okay you to do whatever you want. Have your account, they'll clear it on the credit card. You can dog walk, you can dog sit, house sit, whatever you want. It's your business, and that's a true business. But like there was a ride share, and I want to just say it was called Ride or something like that in Austin. There's been a ton around the country.
Yeah,
but
there was Ride Austin. It's still around, I believe.
Okay, I thought they shut down, but regardless, they were about to move to like 4 other cities, and they stopped. Maybe Tom, maybe because that's your state.
No, I don't know them.
Yeah, Ride Austin's still around. They're a non-profit rideshare company. And the reason why they came about, I remember this, because they came about because Texas or the city of Austin told Uber they had to start paying like licensing and stuff like that. And Uber's like, nope, just pulled out the city. And then so Ride Austin started a non-profit and started doing rideshare that way. Yeah. But they're still up. I'm looking at their website now, and their Android app and iPhone app,
but there have been others too. I mean, there's been others that did well for a while in markets.
There's actually a lot of other. We just mentioned the big giants because they're the big giants, but I mean, most of us probably have some sort of local company that does it. They probably have their own app too. Like I know my market, besides DoorDash, we have 2 other food delivery services. Right. Besides DoorDash, Uber, and Grubhub, we actually have 2 more besides that. And I think they're in 10 cities total. And it's just one of those things that they're probably profitable because they're not spending a ton of money on advertising and trying to become the top dog.
Okay, so what about like Lyft coming into food?
Isn't that what they're doing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it's at.
Yeah.
Lyft is not coming into food directly, though. They're coming through with a third-party service.
Yeah, we were looking at it. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, and actually that third-party service that they're coming in with, Uber, Grubhub, and DoorDash, all three already use as well.
Right.
So it's not like they're doing something new. They're just trying to, I guess, make a little bit more money and try to become profitable. Because if you notice, Lyft isn't even trying to go after Uber no more. Like they was trying to expand worldwide and things of that nature. And I think they've pulled back to Canada and US.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have actually came back from overseas because of all the regulations that are popping up over there.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know more about the overseas stuff. I mean, because you deal with what is it? Now I'm thinking Deliveroo and the delivery ones, but you deal with Ola.
Ola, Diddy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Bolt.
You know, yeah. I have Bolt coming on. So yeah, so Tony, you asked this. Dumpling did run a program in LA just prior to the pandemic for rideshare for about 4 months. I don't know how they feel about it. They're not running their platform though for it, where they had something in the app. I really think that you create your profile, you have the credit card, and if you need to expand the boundaries of the credit card, you just call and they'll work with you. That's how everybody I know does it, and they just work with them. So I think rideshare would be fine. Everything is fine. You can go to specialty stores, you can go dog shopping, you can go anything that people want. You're basically a personal assistant. You know, I was even talking to Joel, the CEO of Dumpling, and I was saying that, you know, oddly, it's too bad he didn't have the name TaskRabbit. I mean, we all know TaskRabbit, but it actually suits the dumpling model great. Like the word dumpling just doesn't bring to mind all that you can do with this. So, hey, Truth, what's up? What's up, Queen? But yeah, I don't know. But I mean, is there ever a way that, you know, they're already like have plants here for autonomous and things of that nature, but is there any way that like a Didi or something, Ola, somebody with some backing ever comes here? Or is it that, because here's what I think, Gary, is that eventually Lyft goes down. Not only does it get bought out, unless it's by Uber, but that it goes down and out, and Uber is the only one.
See, I don't think Uber will take over Lyft.
No.
Well, but whoever does, it eventually fails or something. I don't know.
There's a company that wants in this business, and they're the big dog. And when they decide they're going to get in it, it's the end of Uber. It's the end of Lyft. It's the same company we're using right now. It's Alphabet.
Oh, Alphabet Waymo.
Alphabet's going to get in here, and that's going to be the end of the rest of it. And because they've decided they want in the business.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I mean, Gary and I have had talks about we just don't ever see Uber going away.
Well,
no, I don't ever see Uber going away. I don't. I think that at this point that they're so massive that, you know, it's kind of like
nothing. They're nothing compared to Alphabet. Nothing.
Well, I'm saying for rideshare wise, as transportation. I think they're so big
they're
on
not a
transportation
company. They're a technology company. Didn't you read the memo?
You get the email?
Right. But I think that they're so expanded as far as how people use their technology company to get transportation that if something major were to happen to them, that the government would probably step in and help them.
That's what I was going to say, is that they've entwined themselves so far into the government with like free rides to vaccinations, voting, testing, all this, that they do free rides on New Year's Eve, all this stuff. And then other work they do with the cities and donations that they're already like kind of sealed in my opinion. I mean,
but
even to the government levels where like you're not getting rid of them.
But they're a publicly traded company and they can be taken over just like any other publicly traded company.
Oh, I agree they can. I don't think that it'll happen is what I'm getting at. Like I don't think that even if Alphabet wanted rideshare, I don't know if they would actually take over Uber. Because they would
Alphabet wants rideshare when it's true autonomous. Yes.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But
they
that's
will
30
go
years
for
out.
whoever has the actual true autonomous model at that time,
Mm-hmm.
which right now Europe is leading that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even the U.S.
No. It's all kinds of the littler companies over in Europe, in fact. And there's
and Alphabet's buying them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, Uber Autonomous, I think, has been sold.
I'm gonna put the link. I'll put the link.
Well, what?
Well, what?
No, I opened up this thing and I paused it. Something link. Like what? The link?
Okay, well let's hit on one last thing then. I got one last thing that we can hit on, and I'm guessing Hannibal's thing's gonna go. So tipping. I just wanted to see if anybody, we'll start with you, Flex, like what could be done to fix tipping? Because I've worked in the service industry my whole life. It's unheard of to not be tipped out of.
I don't think you could do anything because no matter what the customer tips, DoorDash is going to hide it on you.
I mean, to help facilitate them to tip. What steps could be? Do you have any ideas on what steps could be taken that might not be offensive to the customer? Because I'm telling you, this is the only industry that I would consider a service industry where I've not been tipped correctly. Again, 9 out of 10 people in any other service industry are tipped.
It's so how you brought up. It's so on a person.
Right, but Uber built a model where they said don't worry about the tipping. In fact, you couldn't unless you were doing cash, and even that they discouraged. But you couldn't tip through the app in the beginning. They made a model of saying don't worry about it. Our drivers are taking care of it. We were at the time. We were being paid great, but
it was at the time. But we're talking about now,
right? But because of Travis and that culture, it really carried over. I think that people stopped tipping. I mean, they just didn't. They thought you're taken care of. I just pay this, and I don't need to tip. And the tipping was an added feature that came. But these are the same people who will tip the person who opens the door for them when they get out of your Uber. Tip the bartender. Tip the waitress. Tip the cook. Tip the dishwasher. Then get back in the Uber and not begin.
I think it's just the history of what's been done with tipping. That's the basic thing of it. I mean, you just.
I guess maybe I'll reword it for you, Jason. Like, what if you could do one thing that seems like it wouldn't hurt the company or anything? Like, what would it be?
I just think you apply an automatic tip to the customer's bill. I mean,
but that's a fee, not a tip.
Well, I don't give a shit as long as I get the money. You can call it SpongeBob's fee. I don't give a crap.
It used to be good when it was supposed.
Well, delivery is a little different, but I still find my issue there too. Tom, what up?
Well, I was just going to say, I think I know the answer, but we're going to have to leave pretty soon. So I'll catch you on the app. I'll send the answer on the app.
Okay, Jason, what were you saying though?
I want to touch on the driven dad with Walmart Spark. I talked about this last night. It was our first picture on our show that Walmart is testing an area or testing certain areas that they're not offering the Walmart customer to tip. So they're building, like you said, an auto $7 tip. So they're offering the driver. It's not a tip from the customer. They're trying to hide the tip from the customer, but give the driver like an extra bonus or something like that. That it must be in his market right now, which I call bullshit.
He's driven dad's in my market. That's Denver. That's Tony.
Okay, well, I'm just saying like that. We literally talked about that last night.
Okay, he's coming here.
Here it is. They have auto tip, but you can remove it if you want.
I think but coming here.
But they're definitely testing that market.
No control.
So.
Roy, fucking Roy, no control.
I think the best thing that they can do as far as tipping goes is to change the wording. Stop calling it a tip and call it a driver incentive or a delivery incentive
or driver support.
Yeah, or something of that nature. Get rid of the word tip, because when you use tip, most people think that that's optional, and in our case, it's really not. Not if you want things done,
Yeah.
or call it a bid for service or something.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, exactly, something. But so okay, and you guys can blow holes through this idea, but why not this is on the baiting end of tipping. If you put in a tip, why in the world are you allowed to pull it back just by going in and just removing it? Why should you not have to contact the company and say why? Why should there not be an extra step on tip baiting? Why should you, if you put in a tip, why should you be able to say, I don't want to give that tip anymore? Because we all know people are doing it to bait it, to get you the food quicker, to show as a big order, to get the best drivers. Shouldn't you be locked into that unless you had a problem and then have to deal on some level to make it harder? Because I think that the tip baiting has gotten way out of control. And giving them 24 or 48 hours to delete it or change it. Yeah, you should always be able to go add more. But why are you allowed to take that back?
Well, because so I'll speak from somebody who orders a lot for, and have these things, because I don't know the quality of the delivery and everything until the guy's long gone.
But the bag is sealed by the restaurant. He just brought it to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if there's something wrong with the order, that's not the driver.
Sometimes it is. You can't say it, because when they do the 3 stops on the way to my house and the food gets there cold and soggy, I'm not okay with that, and it happens all the time. And I'm not okay.
That's why I don't like multi-apping.
Yeah,
right.
So when I see that happen, and I watch them.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
And I get my food and the sandwich is soggy and it's not cold anymore or not hot anymore, all that kind of stuff. I'm not okay.
That makes sense. But would you have a problem saying, I want to remove this tip, and just having to just type a 100-character reason?
I don't have a problem with that. I think you should. I do that. I let them know what, and I let them know when I'm upset.
Right, but I mean in the app to the Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, like where it's not even going to the driver. It's like 250 characters. You have to type why. Why did you need this?
Okay. Look. He's not doing it every time. There's people that do it every fucking time, which is he's not tip baiting. He's saying like
he's having a legitimate
having a legitimate reason for it.
So I think people who do it every time, I mean, can they not say, if you pull back the tip 65% of the time after 10 orders?
There's probably they probably get a flag and not a count.
They can do. Yeah, they can do something there.
Maybe after like second or third time, you might have to put in a reason like, hey.
The problem with that though is you can just use another email and sign right back up.
Yeah, but a lot of people might not want to. I mean, they might just, I don't know. I mean, I think that it would be a way. I mean, I think that some people are just that kind of lazy. They know they tip baited. And like Flex was saying, there's some people who literally do it every time now. They've learned that it works.
It's not worth my time to put in. Is it really worth saving $6 or something like that to sit there and wait and undo the tip and all? I mean,
but if it's like Friday night and it's super busy on DoorDash and you put in like $20 tip, just because you're probably going to get a dasher who gets over there, who keeps asking for your order, who's really pushing for that because they're trying to nail it for you. You can pull that tip. That's wrong.
I have never seen that my tip in any way impacts how fast my food gets.
Another look,
I don't believe it does.
Another reason why your food could also be cold and be sitting there for a long time. I'll give you an example. I couldn't say I was using PAR or I was using an old app to tell the lady, because once I arrived at the location, I said I have arrived. As soon as I said I have arrived, about 10 seconds later, I'm getting a phone call. Or I'm sorry, it was text messages. Hey, how long is this gonna be? Like, I've been waiting long. I instantly called the customer, and she's been telling me she's been waiting for over an hour, and it took me about 10 minutes to drive down a parkway to the restaurant after accepting the order.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell her like, hey, I didn't accept your order for, I seen your order for like 25 $28. But I'm sorry, it showed up for like $9, $11. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell her that. So I told her, all I told her was like, hey, I took your order and it took me 10 minutes to get here and I'm just picking it up. But the reason it was sitting there because that order was floating around for like $9 or $9 to $11. It was just floating around, and nobody wants to drive like 7 or 8 miles. And that's another reason why the DoorDash thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Is I tip well whenever I order, and I can tip $20. I can tip $5. It's going to get to me at this exact same speed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, but I guess I'm hitting on the people who have learned tip baiting works. It works.
The only platform that
I'll just pull it all. I won't tip them $1, but I'm gonna put in 20.
The only platform I noticed that it makes a difference is Grubhub, and that's because they don't hide anything.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at, and I know Grubhub's not the shining example of how to get the delivery game done, but at the same time, like that's always been their motto, right? Was that everything was upfront.
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of like the new upfront pricing. I mean, I don't know. I think tip baiting, I guess it goes on more in the grocery space than some of the other ones, I think. And I think that I was trying to relate it to anything where you can tip bait. In rideshare, it never happened too much because people just would say tip through the app and they never would. That was just, we're all used to that. That's happened to all of us. If you
that's what I'm saying. I'll get back to you later on this. I'll do it through the app.
He just stepped up, so hopefully he joins.
What's up, Homer? What's up, Bud Soda? What's up, Rideshare Lisa? What's up, Roy? What's up, Pedro? What's up? I don't even know. Well, far back up. I think that's about right.
There's a few people in here.
Yeah. No. But yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I just think there's got to be some way to stop that. I mean, it's the same way I felt. It's not the exact same, but this is kind of the same way I felt about underage riders. I just didn't even mind picking them off instead of getting to the point where I was like, I'll avoid the spot. I would go pull behind the police officer at the high school and just pick them off one by one. I'd roll my camera to the window. Loved it, man.
I thought they could they add more tips on Grubhub after you complete the delivery, or once it's done, it's done?
Good question. I ordered on Grubhub today.
Yeah, I believe you can. I know I've never tried to do it, but I know while they're on the way to me,
Jason's about to look.
It shows me on there it'll say increase your tip or add an extra tip or something. But I've never seen it be able to take it away, and I've never seen a hidden tip on Grubhub.
Is everybody looking at the comment?
Good.
We already covered that, right?
Roy just likes to troll.
No, I like that, Roy. Nice.
Well, I don't know. I guess that was really all I wanted to hit on this, tonight. Anybody else got anything going on? What's up with something else? Somebody bring up what's a favorite app right now that everybody's working? I'll tell you what, no matter what anybody says, mine's shipped and still now shipped. I'm killing it. I'm loving it. It's easy.
You're doing grocery shopping?
No, I just park it. I just go to the Target by me.
Mine is Park.
Yes, but if it's Target, it doesn't bother me. I don't know why.
Mine is Park because it still helps me out. So is Gary's app.
Oh, you don't even know the damn name?
It's not called
I said your name too.
It's called Joe's app.
Joe's app. The utility app. Yeah. No, I love it, man. It clears all these trash orders, man. Literally.
The driver utility helper.
The driver utility helper.
Oh, do you use Maximo for Uber Eats, or you don't do Uber Eats or Grubhub?
He does payroll and DoorDash.
Yeah, that's my thing too.
That's it. Don't you watch his live streams? Come on.
Oh man, I've got up like so early in the morning because I'm 2 hours behind him, and I'll catch his payroll one sometimes.
I'm too early for people sometimes.
Be like 4 a.m, and he's like out. I don't even know, Jason, if you know this, but Flex does a live stream 7 days a week literally. I mean, I used to think it was like
Pretty much,
6,
yeah.
but 7 days a week, he 12-hour live streams,
That sounds
DoorDashing,
horrible.
and then, but hold on, I'm not done. But 3 hours before that, he live streams delivering payroll.
What's payroll?
Like
package delivery.
Oh, gotcha.
but so
ADP paychecks.
15 hours a day.
No thanks. If I work over 5, I get grumpy.
I'm with Jason. If I work more than 3 hours at a time, I start getting cranky too.
Yeah.
Another huge perk and a nice thing that we have the control to be able to be flexible.
I'm doing Walmart shopping and I'm running carts into people. If I shop after noon, after 12 o'clock, it's a shit show, and you better get me out of there because I'm going to kill somebody. But I want to real quick. I got to bounce y'all, and I appreciate the time, but I do want to talk about grocery tipping. I really feel like I need to have the Driven Dad on just for Walmart, because I had one yesterday that had a $15 tip. It is not on there today. And this order was 92 items to the hood. Jeez. And I knew it was going to the hood. And
Let me ask you.
We'll see. So I'm going to call Walmart tomorrow and to see what happened to it. But that's the only reason I took that, because it was $15.
Do they ID
Tony,
you?
I'll send you Jason's information. You can get in touch with him.
Jason, do they ID you up on picking up the orders?
Oh no, my Walmart, they know me by name. They love I kiss their ass when I'm there.
There is no like show me your ID.
But I'm doing it for Walmart Spark. I'm not doing it for DoorDash.
Right. I think that's what he's saying too.
No, I think DoorDash does ask for ID.
Oh, right. Well,
they start everywhere asking for ID.
Not, I don't know. They don't do it for my Walmart, but I don't do it on DoorDash. So
I cannot get a Spark order ever. I don't even see them pop up on my app.
Are you sure it's live in your area?
Yeah, there's like, I don't know. They told me there's 9 Walmarts around me.
And you're not getting anything?
Nothing, not a single thing. Yeah, they
sent
me a survey today. They said, "Hey, you haven't taken an order yet. You want to tell us why?"
I would call them and say
make sure you're in the right location.
Yeah, there may be something wrong with your
location
app somewhere or something. I would call them and always press 2. Don't
Gary,
go 1.
Gary's probably spoofing. He's probably like spoofing.
It's crazy because I'm
not on Spark. I gotta try this Spark out.
Like right where I'm at, I have 3 Walmarts near me that all do pickup, and they're 3 miles, and 4 miles.
Something ain't right with your account.
Yeah, and nothing ever pops up on there because I just want to do a couple so I can see if I can't automate it.
Lisa says tip bait by either Spark or Walmart. Not sure, but never $15 tip in the hood. It was the straight up Section 8 too. Like I knew what I was getting myself into, and I said, I swear to God, because it's 24 hours and it's been 24 hours, and I'm calling Walmart tomorrow and let them tell me where it went. Ay, Driven Dad.
Shit, I was doing a Walmart order, and the only way I was able to get inside the building is they were doing a raid.
Okay,
I'm not even joking.
Hey, shit!
I left it in a hallway.
Flexes, I'll hold the door, man.
Literally going next door to the gentleman's door. He's like, "Let me see the package."
You're like, no.
Good. I mean, I didn't. They let me in.
Trying to give you,
I just need to drop off.
But anyways, I gotta bounce y'all. I
think we all do, because I try and keep these to an hour, but when it's a round table, it's hard.
Yeah. You're at 120, or 118.
Okay. Well, thanks guys for coming on. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Thanks, dude.
Sorry, Hannibal and I overlapped tonight. I don't know because usually it's the same people, and I'm sure that you guys were bouncing back and forth. So him and I'll probably regret that.
You guys are gonna have to work out your scheduling issues.
I'm always.
You're gonna have to get some control, man.
He's just coming back with his times now, so I'm not really familiar. I just do Thursday live at 7 Mountain. That's my thing. 9 Eastern.
Right.
That's the only time of the week I do. The other ones are just premieres that I try and do before Kim's that are interviews I do.
Except for Friday nights.
Which by the way, we have. I forgot. Tom, can you give us the plugs? And
Friday nights on TNCradio.live, 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. join Jason and SJ, myself, and Chopper Bill Waldrop, talking about all things rideshare and whatever else we have to talk about.
They let you call into the show too, by the way. You don't just have to listen. You can call in and talk noise on them.
Yeah.
I just put the link in there. I'm gonna pin it to the top. So
there you go.
If I didn't see the face, I hear George Norrie, bro.
George, no.
Coast to coast.
I'm not talking about UFOs. We can talk about UFOs. I don't care.
Well, thanks everybody for coming on, and check us out. Jason and I are always there, and I think even Jason's. I'm gonna put everybody's link that was here tonight in the show notes, because if you're not familiar with Jason's show, which I think most people probably are, but I know I've been telling some people and they're not familiar, and then they go over and check it out and like it. So it's like, I'll put it in the show notes. You guys check it out.
It's a lot better now that he doesn't have the dash. So
oh, that's right. Jason, what is the new website name?
Well, it's not new. Apparently, we owned it the whole time, and I didn't know this. It's just gigeconomyshow.com.
Okay. Because Jason had a hyphen in his old one, and he didn't.
I hated it.
He didn't realize he could just say dash.
Shut up.
Yeah, but finally we've broken his hyphen, and
they browbeat me on the radio show.
All right, guys. All right. Have a good evening, everybody. And
thanks for having me on, Steve.
Yeah,
drive safe.
Always a good time. Peace.
Peace out.
Deuces.
Later.